JuJuan Buford here with a small plate first thing in the morning. And what I want to talk about is a conversation that I had recently with a couple business partners. And the conversation revolved around how difficult it is to change. One of the individuals pretty much shares with me that, look, I'm ready to draw the line in the sand, but there's so many books, there's so many audios, there's so many videos, there's so many opinions and perspectives about change that it appears difficult. Seeing the process is so cumbersome, right? And I had another individual who is doing business, having success, but they're ready to make the leap, right? They're ready to make the transition from a change of me to a team of we, where they're actually leading and managing people and building teams and helping people achieve their goals. And once again, the conversation just revolved around how difficult it can be to change, right? Your circumstances or change your beliefs or change your habits or change and become the thing that you need to become, the person you need to become in order to vibrate and communicate and move in such a way where people will be inclined to listen to you and follow you. And what I said was this: change isn't nearly as difficult as you think it is. And both individuals said, well, what do you mean? Like, we've watched your process. We've seen your trials and tribulations. We've seen the things you've gone through. And it seems like there was a process. And indeed, there was. Everybody changes at a different pace, right? But the bottom line is changing of itself doesn't have to be some difficult, convoluted process. And what I shared was this, or better yet, what I asked was, talk to me about your diet. Yeah, I asked, talk to me about your diet. What are you consuming, right? Are you consuming the diet of a lion? Or are you consuming the diet of an alley cat? Are you consuming things? Are you having interactions? Are you eating things that will empower you to become your best self? Or are you consuming rats? And I broke it down in a more simple way of kind of thinking about this, right? Look, what they say is true. You are what you eat. You are what you consume. So the next question I ask, are you reading the book of the month? Or are you reading things and listening things that don't take you closer to becoming a better leader, that help you become more financially literate? Are you reading books that teach you how to communicate, how to understand, and how to help people adopt frameworks? Are you reading books that enliven your spirit? Or are you reading things that dampen your spirit? Are you reading things simply for the sake of entertainment? Nothing wrong with that. I'm an avid reader. But what you consume, once again, you are what you eat. And so if you're reading books about how to be an effective leader, if you're reading books about business development and sales management, if you're reading books about human psychology, if you're reading things that will improve your ability to go out here and operate in the world and be successful versus a diet of magazines, I would throw social media in there, right? Because people read via social media and they listen via social media. What are you consuming? What are you listening to? Is the music that you're listening to, does it feed and edify your spirit to become your best self, to become the person that you need to become so people will be, once again, attracted to you, motivated by you, inspired by you, where you can actually bring value to people's lives? Are you listening to music that causes tumult, makes you tempestuous, angers you, frustrates you? Are you listening to music that's all about trauma bonding, right? And conflict? Because once again, what you eat, that's what you are. You are what you eat, right? I asked them, take inventory of these things. You know, the conversations you have, are many of the conversations you're having with people around you, are these conversations steeped in jealousy and envy, complaining, distrust, hate, right? Or are you having conversations that involve solving problems, figuring out ways to become more valuable, figuring out ways to overcome challenges? Are you having IDS meetings with yourself, with the people around you, with your teammates, with your employees? I mean, even with your supervisors and the folks that you have to answer to. Let me tell you, if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, you know who your supervisors are? You know who you're answering to? Your employees. Are you having the right type, not your employee, your employees, but also more importantly, your clients, right? When I wake up every single day, I'm acutely aware of who I serve, my clients, right? Aside, of course, my faith. This conversation for another time. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole per se, but yeah, my God. But the bottom line is, I know I'm waking up and I'm also serving my clients, right? Those are my bosses. What type of conversations am I having with them? Who are you studying? Are you studying celebrities? Are you studying politicians? Are you studying people because you want to see the train wreck? Right? There's a lot of train wrecks going on right now via social media and across the news and everywhere else. I mean, do you study people to find entertainment in folks' failures and stumbling? There can be lessons from that, but are you studying people who walk a life of excellence? Are you reading books about individuals who have done the things that you want to do? Are you reading books about people who've pretty much kept their nose clean, stayed out of trouble, built fantastic things, right? It's important because once again, you are what you eat. And, I'll use the metaphor again. You can be consuming the diet of a lion, an empowering diet, a diet that makes you strong. Are you consuming the, the diet of an alley cat? I mean, let's talk about foods. Are you eating fast food every single day? Are you eating processed food every single day? It's easy. And quite frankly, it tastes good. It's designed to taste good, so you'll eat more of the stuff that's not good for you, right? But healthy foods can be tasty, and the outcomes are a lot better as well. Are you eating cucumbers, blueberries? Do you have a good vegetable diet balanced with fruits and proteins that you cook, that you can prepare, that you can acquire? Yeah, it can be a little bit more expensive, but it also make you a lot more competitive, right? A lot of what we do as entrepreneurs and business owners is that we give off a lot of energy. You have to have a lot of energy once you grow, especially from a team of me to a team of we. You're managing multiple households, you're managing multiple situations. People begin to view you, rely upon you, they begin to see your energy. Are you feeling slothful, tired, unmotivated? Are you dragging, right? Um, what are you doing? What are you consuming in terms of your health habits, right? And food is a very important piece of that. Are you walking? Are you running? Are you going to the gym? Once again, as entrepreneurs, it can be very easy to become sedentary. I operate with a home-based business, not a homebound business. There's a difference, right? So anyone who knows me, I make an effort to get out to coffee shops and cafes because I want to be around people, right? I make an effort to get to the gym. I get back to running once the weather improves. I start running again. Goal is always to run about 6 to 9 miles a week. And I'm about to get back to that again, right? Because I know I have to have the energy to go longer, go further, go harder, and be alert and able, right? To be physically able to carry the load. There are a lot of people in my peer group whom, quite frankly, I still view myself as a young man. I'm staring at 5-0. It's around the corner. I'm not quite there yet. I got a couple more miles to run to get there, a couple more years to run, but for me, it's not necessarily scary, but it's humbling. I'm thankful and grateful that I'm still standing upright and I have my health and ability to do things. I know I've not been perfect in terms of diet and things I've consumed, but I also am aware of the fact that I stopped eating fast food frequently, probably once or twice a year, maybe 4 or 5 times a year, as opposed to years before where I was consuming it on a regular basis, right? Very cognizant of the things I put in my body, very cognizant of getting up and active and moving around because I don't want to be one of those stories that you hear about where folks are, quite frankly, catching the L, right? The heart stops. Um, that's important to me. And I know it's important for me to be around long enough to make sure that the things that I've envisioned manifest. You got to be able to execute, right? You spend all this time building, growing, creating success stories, and then you get to the finish line, your heart stops. Man, for real. Anyway, right? So those are the questions I asked. I asked, what are you consuming spiritually? Right? I just came back from what I would view more than anything else as a leadership conference. I wasn't expecting a spiritual revival. I really wasn't. I was going there for the how to's. I was going there to solidify my why. I was going there to better understand how I want to move and how I want to operate. I want to understand the spirit and the way in which people move. I was studying those individuals who have the lifestyles and the things that I want. I was not expecting any type of spiritual rebirth, but I had one. Actually, it took the time to attend a service Sunday morning before the return home, and it reminded me of how important it is, at least for me personally, to hear the word and to understand my purpose on a spiritual level and to understand the role I'm supposed to play on a higher level, um, and be inspired and choose what is divine in me, right? It's a lot of what motivated this. And what are you doing for your spirit? Once again, are you around that negativity, or do you gravitate towards conflict and trauma and issues? And you know what I'm talking about, right? You always have those people who are always looking for the conflict, looking for the fight, looking for the argument, looking for the hard things that do nothing but harden your soul and harden your spirit and just impact the way in which you move, right? What are you doing to feed yourself spiritually? Because we aren't just blood and skin and bones, right? We're spirits. We're having a spiritual experience in this body. And what are you doing to be at peace, right? What are you doing to create harmony in your life? What are you seeking out? What's your diet, right? Because once again, it's just like eating fast food versus eating homegrown foods, or foods that you buy and that you cook, as opposed to that you just order and expect for it to be nutritious after 5 minutes, right? I mean, if two people go to a restaurant, or let's say two people walk into a McDonald's per se, and one has a salad every single time they go, assuming McDonald's has healthy salads. I don't know, I don't eat at McDonald's regular, but you get the point I'm trying to make. Versus the next person walks into the McDonald's and they eat a Big Mac every single day. In the first 3, 4, 5, 6 days, you may not see a dramatic change. If people same height, same size, same complexion, same everything, not gonna see a dramatic change. Maybe the person is eating a hamburger every single day or 2, 3 times a day. Their skin might become a little bit more oily. They may have some stomach aches, but the bottom line is not ready to parent. You don't see it. But let that behavior continue for 2 weeks. One of the individuals is going to have to, have some issues with their belt, have to open it up a couple notches. One person is going to be more fatigued, um, more tired, more worn down from the processed food matriculating through their system, right? They're not going to have the same energy they had before. They're going to look drawn, right? That tired look, like a towel has been used so many times that, it's lost its texture and everything else. You can start feeling that way. Let a month go by of that same behavior, right? The person that was choosing the healthy food, the person that was choosing the healthy lifestyle, the person that was choosing a healthy diet is obviously going to have more energy. They're going to be more able. They're going to be more alert, more informed. They're becoming more valuable because they're able to do more and they're able to exemplify the characteristics that lead to success, right? The bottom line is the person that has been consuming a bit, and this is the thing that I know can be a little bit more difficult because some people want change right away. It doesn't happen that way. But trust me, just like that process I outlined, it's not nearly as difficult as you think it is. Just simply ask yourself the next time you read a book, watch a social media video, get into a conversation, the next media, no matter how you consume it, right? The next time you're studying someone or watching someone or listening to someone, next conversation you have, the next choice you have to sit and chillax for 30, 40 minutes versus get on the floor and do a push up or push ups or do some planks, do some squats, without the weight, right? Just squat your body weight. Yeah, that's a choice, right? That's your diet. So don't over um, think this, right? Just ask yourself, what is the diet you're consuming? What are you putting in your body, mind, and soul? Those are decisions every single day. What are you looking at? What are you viewing? Right? What are some things you can do? If you're in a depressed environment where you don't have people to talk to, For a long time, I was kind of like the black sheep out of my network and out of my family and friends, right? So I didn't have people to have those conversations with on a regular basis. I found those conversations in books. For a long time, I lived in environments that were depressed, dirty, trash, right? I started taking walks. I started driving to places that looked beautiful, that looked nice. I changed my environment, right? These are all choices you can make in terms of your diet. So simplify it, make it easy. Is what I'm consuming going to empower me and make me feel like a lion? Or am I consuming the diet of an alley cat? Just ask yourself that question every time you're making a choice about something. Have a fantastic day. I celebrate success in advance. Goodbye for now.